Okay, who wants to go first? You guys get to go first because you had way too much fun. So come on up. And remember, this is the first day of class, so nobody really knows anybody. So please, when you come up, introduce yourself first. So,
I'm Ricky.
I'm Jessica.
I'm April.
okay. So, tell me about your
We got flamingos. And we learned that they were kind of like a conflicted animal. They travel around in flocks. They are monogamous, but they also like the occasional three-way. And they also tend to veer towards same-sex relationships. Usually that's because of overcoupling. Yeah, there's not enough couples to go around, so then they resort, they have to get their rocks off something. Anybody else want to say?
somebody else? Yeah.
They start out gray and then they shed their feathers, they turn to a pale pink, and once they won't, another flamingo won't mate with a flamingo until it's reached its full bright pink color, so it basically has to go through puberty before somebody will mate with it. But, I don't remember what
Okay, if that was a person you were talking about, how would you compare that, like, turn that into something human?
Well, normally people don't go after somebody until they
Until they do
mature.
go to puberty, right? You hope.
Well, I think they said like retired people because
Yeah.
they stay in large flocks of up to 10,000 birds, and they like warm weather. And then we also compare them to a farmer because they get dirty for their food.
Okay, so would you go with, given everything that you said, it doesn't really fit into the retirement group? Well, maybe a really modern one.
If it's kind of in
Well,
the
according to the one we just
The one you just watched on the thing, okay.
We also thought that kind of that because they have, like, they love to dance and stuff, so we kind of thought also.
They have elaborate courtships. They dance and show off, and then they mate.
So you kind of got the trisexual retirement community. That's kind of where you go with that. And given that that's the direction you took, I'm not gonna ask you to answer the last one. So, would
Yes,
you?
we would.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, yep.
So my name's Mike. Oh, my name's Pat. We had the deer.
Yeah, we had, I wrote it on my side because we didn't have a pen. It said that their behavior is directly related to the environment it lives and interacts in, which means, like whatever, like if a deer lived in a big city, it'd probably be like, they have a different attitude toward living than a deer that lives like out in the middle of nowhere. So depending on the area you're in, it's gonna depend on its attitude, kind of like, I act differently here than I do back home, because I'm in a different environment. It's kind of like people, and then they never sleep in the same spot twice, and they also never sleep for long times.
The male buck always tries to travel by themselves, and the stronger the piss, like the more attracted the female.
So like, when he was talking about how strong the pee is, it kind of relates to like how much money the dude has in some cultures that like how the girl would be attracted to him more.
Okay, so again, so you've talked about like the not diversity, but the differences in living in the city versus living in the country, but as a whole, what group of people, is there a group of people or a certain kind of person that you would compare them to? If you had to give them human.
Yeah, I identify with everybody because it said that their attitude and like their stuff changes with wherever they're at. So I
Is there anything that we could learn from them?
To learn how to adapt and fit in.
Okay, and are you part of that group? You don't adapt? You said you
Kinda.
Well, because you kind of did, because you said that it's very much like you because you're different in one environment than you are in another, so you have the two. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Rich, and we have the raccoon. And we found that the raccoon's behavioral traits, they're really different social traits. They don't really travel in big packs or whatever. They operate at night. They're very evasive and hard to catch. And a lot of hunters like to hunt them because it's a good challenge. And
You kind of said that we had to characterize them as a group of people, say criminals or like that.
Who?
Criminals.
Oh, criminals?
Evasive.
Okay.
They're pretty adaptive, so they can live in, city or country. They pretty much stand off of whatever they need, kind of a survivalist type.
Do you have well, you said criminals, but just in general then, just that whole evasive nature?
Nocturnal,
Okay.
kind of stay away from
Are you part of that group?
them.
Is there anything that we could learn from them?
survival techniques, how to survive, having
More
very
adaptive.
little.
Hmm?
Be more adaptive.
Be more adaptive. It's kind of the same as the deer. Okay, thank you. And that's really funny because I did these at home just to kind of, and I tried to take the same amount of time just to see what I would come up with if somebody asked me to do it. And every one of you guys went way different than anything that, because I looked at them from the perspective of how they raise a family together and how they do. I mean, I was so looking at it from a generic point of view, and I love you guys because that was awesome. But I really appreciate you guys giving me the chance to do this today, and I took up a good piece of your class, so that's that much studying you don't have to do. And from this point, this is where if I was the real instructor, if I were to be the real instructor, we would then move on to real sociology issues. This was just an exercise to get people to know each other a little bit better and kind of introduce some concepts in sociology. So thank you very much. You can ice that now.